Hello. All right, let's install some software. So we want to get a github.com account, which means we'll need an email address or access to your email, and then a Figma account if you haven't already, a Visual Studio Code download, and also let's do GitHub Desktop just so we have it. We may or may not use it, but here I am on the github.com website. I'm going to sign in. No, I'm not. I'm going to make a new account just so I can go through the steps because there's quite a few. My only problem is what email address have I not used with GitHub, because I've done a couple. I would say absolutely do not use your pdx.edu email, because you will lose access once you graduate, and that's a big bummer. So let's see. I'll try just my regular old Gmail. I don't know what password. Probably won't like that one. Yep. Geez, I don't know. Hang on. Let me pause for a second. Okay, I'm back. So I figured out a password, and hopefully, yeah, it looks like I can use this email. And I'm just going to make an account called Alana Codes PDX. This will be visible, so you want it to be, professional. Okay, so I'm going to continue. My other one is just my first name and last name. Okay, so you can choose either an audio puzzle or a visual puzzle. They're all a little funky. Use the arrows to rotate the object to face the direction of the hand. Okay, it's probably that one. The direction of the hand. Okay, I see. It's supposed to be like that. Submit. Cool, okay. You can manually continue. Stop saving. Okay, now I have to get my email. There you go. Okay. Cool. So now I'm done. I can sign in. So Alana Codes PDX. And what is my password? So slow. 7. Okay. Did it. It's a weird one. Of course, they're all weird. All right, sign in. Okay, so here we go. Just don't ask me. You should probably save your password, but this is not my real login. Okay, so here I am. I am on the home page, and now I want to do the rest of the software. So I'm going to just leave this here, and I'm just going to type VS Code, because that will get me to this link, which is code.visualstudio.com. And I'm going to download. It will probably figure out what kind of computer you're using and recommend that you download that one. So it is now in my downloads, and I'm going to open that up. Come on, downloads, open. And still going, so I'm going to pause the recording. All right, I am back, and I have downloaded this zip, and I'm opening it up. And now I think, yeah, you can just drag this into your applications folder. So you probably have it on the side here. If you don't, you can say file new new Finder window, and that will pop up another folder for you. New folder. Okay, so I have mine open, so I'm just going to drag it over to my applications folder. And once that is done, I can double click on it, and it will launch. Visual Studio Code, open. Yes, I do want to open it. This is the getting started page. So let's see. We want to go to source control, this tab, and we're going to, let's see, to get, you can now open a folder. Okay. I want to connect. Okay, we're going to pause on this. Maybe it's in here. I want to like connect my GitHub account, but I'm going to go get GitHub Desktop first because that might actually just make that part easier. So I'm going to go to GitHub Desktop, and this is an application that makes it a little bit easier to use Git and get and sort of push and get files from your Git server. So I'm going to download that now. Download for Mac OS. This will probably take a minute. Downloads. Okay, I'm going to pause again. All right, it has downloaded. So similar, I'm going to open up the zip file. And same thing, I have this application that I'm going to drag into my applications folder. I just want to like really emphasize that you need to get it out of your downloads and into applications. Otherwise, for both this and Visual Studio Code, because otherwise it won't work. Cool. So now I've dragged it into applications and it is right here. So I'm going to launch this, and hopefully this is going to ask me to log into my GitHub account. Yes, I want to open it. Come on, wake up. There it goes. It's just taking a minute. Do, 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 do. Come on, little GitHub Desktop. You can do it. Come on. Might pause again. Oh, I think it's going. It's trying. It's trying. There we go. Okay, sign in to github.com is what you want to do. So I'm going to click that. And my username. Oh no, I'm going to have to do the email again, or the password again. I'm just going to pause. All right, here we go. So I've got the username and the password. Maybe I just will. Okay, signed in. Cool. Continue. And then GitHub Desktop will do this and this and this. Yes, yes, yes. All is fine. Authorize desktop. Do you want to allow the website to open? Yes, allow. I should have said always allow, actually. Okay. My name is that. That is my GitHub account name. Cool. And let's hit finish. And hopefully, all right, we are set. So one thing I want to check is, let's go back to Visual Studio Code and see if there's any. I want this guy. Well, we'll find out. Okay, so we're going to make a new repository. So in GitHub, GitHub is a website that allows you to store files using this software called Git. So we're going to create a repository. The name of this repository is incredibly, incredibly important. So don't miss this step. You want your repository to be exactly your username, no different, like all whatever, like lowercase, uppercase, whatever you used. So here's that, and then .github.io. So that part is incredibly important. So it should be your username, exactly how you see it here, and then github.io. So Alana Codes PDX.github.io. So important. The rest of this, not super important. We'll just leave it as is. And then That's it. We're just going to say create a repository. And now you get this page that has a bunch of info, and you can add a remote. You can clone this. So let's see. We're going to grab this URL, which is HTTPS. And oops. Oh yeah, there's a little copy button. We're going to go to GitHub Desktop, and we're going to say clone a repository from the internet. And then it is connected, but it probably won't see it yet. So let's put in this URL and say clone. Cool. So now we have a repository called whatever your username is, .github.io. And let's make a file. So I'm going to go back to Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to open... Oh, I just realized something. I did not pay attention. So we want to go to settings. My default path, let's see. I'm going to delete this. Remove. And I'm going to say also move to the trash, because I want to make sure that I'm putting this in a place that will be useful to me. So I'm going to try this again. I'm going to do clone a repository. I'm at URL. I'm going to see where it says users, Alana codes, documents, GitHub. I don't actually want it in there. I mean, it's fine, but I would rather have a better folder. So I'm going to paste the URL in, but then I'm going to click choose. And under choose, I'm going to go somewhere better. So I generally usually have in my documents folder, another folder called sites. So I'm going to set that up. I'm going to say in documents and then open it up and say new folder, and I'm going to call it sites. And I'm going to select that folder. And then I can go and delete that GitHub one. So now I'm going to say clone. And here we are again. We've got a thing. If I, a thing like repository. If I say reveal in Finder, it should show me. You can right click or command click and see where it lives. So it is in documents, sites. Okay, so let's go to Visual Studio Code, and now we're going to open a folder, and we're going to go find that folder. So Alana codes, documents, sites, that folder. So I'm going to say open that folder, and we're going to allow. And yes, I trust the authors of this files of the parent. Yes. Yes, I trust. Cool. So we have an empty folder. There's nothing in it. So I'm going to click this file button to make a new file. Oops, sorry. I'm going to click, if I right click, or you can actually also click new file. And I'm going to type the file name. This is also super important. Lowercase index.html. Super important that it's lowercase. All right, I'm going to create that. And I'm going to make sure that it's going right in the very top of my folder there. And now in Visual Studio Code, there's a lot of helpers that will help you kind of fill in code. So if you type an exclamation point and then you type tab, it's going to give you all that boilerplate HTML. And then the body of my HTML is where stuff lives. So I'm just going to where the visual part of the page lives. So I'm just going to make a paragraph tag and say, welcome, just welcome. Cool. So a couple more things. Well, let's actually do some speedy checks here. I'm going to go to this file in the Finder. So I can right click on the index and say reveal in Finder. And then I got to make a little room here, but I want to have a new tab open. And I'm just going to drag that index.html to make sure, yes, indeed, This is my file. I can verify, yes, it is in the right folder, all that good stuff. So, oh yeah, cool. So it did actually connect to my GitHub. That's great. We'll use GitHub Desktop for the rest of this setup. And maybe we'll look into using just the Visual Studio Code one. But here in my GitHub Desktop app, I can see that I made an index file. I can see all of the code that's been added. And I am going to basically commit this. So I'm basically kind of making a timestamp on my computer. So I'm just gonna say initial commit. So I don't need a description, but you always need this field filled out. So I'm going to say commit to main. Main is kind of like my main branch of my website. So I've only committed this locally. I'm basically saying I want to save this time, this space and time on my computer, but it's not on GitHub yet. So if I go up to GitHub and I go to this, where is it? This page, I still get this whole page. There's like nothing else here. If I refresh, it's just saying you need to make a thing. So I'm going to go back to GitHub Desktop. Command tab is your friend with coding. And I'm going to say publish the branch. So it says current branch main hasn't been published to the remote yet. By publishing it to GitHub, you can share it, open, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to say publish. And now that I've published it, I can hit refresh on my browser, and then there it is. So here's my index page. If I click on it, I can see the stuff that I just added. And I can, sorry, I just clicked on my username. I'll go back. So this is the repository. This is your username. It's kind of like a breadcrumb thing. I want to go actually to the top of the repository, and I want to set a setting. So I'm in the settings tab. Be aware that there is also, maybe they moved it actually or changed it. There's also a settings button up at the top. So you want to make sure it's like underneath the name of the repository. And I'm in settings now, and I want to go to pages. So on the left-hand side, there's a tab called pages. And I'm basically going to make sure that this is published. Let's see. Oh, it's currently being built from the main branch. Okay. Maybe this takes a minute, so I'm going to pause again. Actually, I think let's just try it now. So at the top here, it says your site is live at blah, 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 blah. Visit the site. So let's click on it and see if it's there. It is. It's live. So this is on the internet. This is like for the whole world to see, whereas the one like this one, this is on my computer. So keep track of where the location is of things. It's going to make a big difference. Cool. So that is setting up GitHub, setting up Visual Studio Code, and setting up GitHub Desktop. And also making sure that you can publish this to the web, which is this guy right here. All right, that is enough. That's 18, almost 19 minutes. Cool. Thank you.